We're all set to take on a Herculean task of changing the wheels of a flying plane. Yes, you got it right. It's almost time for the Ethereum Merge or ETH 2.0. ETH Merge is essentially the transition of Ethereum blockchain from being a proof of work to a proof of stake blockchain. Stage one of the merge, that is the bellatrix upgrade, went live on the Beacon chain on the 6th of September. Beacon chain is simply Ethereum network's proof of stake chain. Now, this upgrade was an important step in preparing the Beacon chain for the full merge and setting the motion right for the merge. So without stealing any more thunder, today we talk all about the Ethereum merge with our two special guests from the digital asset space. Abhinav is a research partner and Neel is a research lead at Woodstock Fund, and they've amassed considerable experience by evaluating more than 500 projects and the ecosystem for over some time now. Woodstock Fund is one of the oldest and largest Web3 focused venture capital firms out of India. Welcome to Curated X, Abhinav and Neel. It's a pleasure to be speaking to both of you today on this widely talked topic, and look forward to some enriching insights on this from you both.
Yeah, I think we're also looking forward to having this discussion.
Thank you so much for having us.
Right, lovely. So as a quick disclaimer before we get started, none of the discussion today is to be construed as any kind of financial advice, and this is all for educational purposes. So to start with the golden question, if you can explain in simple terms, what is the ETH merge and what was essentially the need for it? Abhinav, we can start from you.
Awesome. So I think that's quite simple. So as you mentioned, it's a transition of the Ethereum blockchain from a proof of work to a proof of stake network. It basically merges together the ETH mainnet, which went live in July 2015, with the Beacon chain, which was launched later in December 2020. And both of them have been running in parallel. Now is right time to bring together both of them. So the merge is basically a sequence of two upgrades. One was Bellatrix, which went live on September 6. It was the consensus client upgrade. Now we'll be seeing the execution client upgrade coming on probably September 14, 15, known as the Paris upgrade. So this is what it is all about. We are just changing the way Ethereum has been working since its beginning in 2015. Now is probably the time. I consider this as one of the top 5 changes in the crypto world that we are going to see, that just brings Ethereum to the landscape which it wants to be at.
Perfect. Neel, just if you could throw light on what do you think was essentially the need for this change?
Yeah, so I think Abhinav covered the tech aspects of it really well, but I think the need for this was something that was realized when Ethereum itself was founded. In the original white paper itself, they had discussed about transitioning to proof of stake because the energy requirement of a proof of work system is extremely high. And especially currently, there's a lot of crackdown happening around proof of work systems and the amount of energy they consume. So kind of just last week also, I think the White House posted a report in which they wanted to clamp down on Bitcoin proof of work electricity usage as well. I think Ethereum and its community saw this happening way earlier as well. And that's why they decided that they needed to shift into a system where it was energy effective. And also it was possible for any and everyone to sit back at their home and run an Ethereum validator. Currently, a proof of work node only can be run via miners or large institutions. I think the ETH community wants that everyone sitting at home should also be able to do it. So in my opinion, this is one of the reasons why it's happening.
Wonderful. Taking it from there, so we've seen there's still a lot of lack of proper clarity on what will change and what won't after the merge. So what are some of these misconceptions around the ETH merge, and what is the actual reality behind it? Neel, you can take this.
I think the one that we talk about the most, a lot of people believe that the throughput is going to change, the transaction fees are going to come lower. I think both of these are not true. When it comes to the transaction fees, I think EIP 1559 was a more instrumental EIP, which at least made the transaction fees more predictable. And when we transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake, I think we transitioned from a 13.5 second block time to a 12-second block time on an average. Maybe there's like a 5% improvement in throughput, but nothing more than that. So yeah, I think these two are the major ones that I've heard of a lot.
Makes sense. Abhinav, anything to add?
I think one of the other misconceptions is that you'd have to do something with your funds, move them around from one blockchain to another with, a couple of folks emerging after the upgrade. Uh, so I would rather suggest everyone to not do anything at all. If you are currently holding ETH in your MetaMask or any other wallet, just let it sit. It's going to go from the POW chain to the POS chain on itself. The chain ID is going to be just fine. So just let it be. Don't panic. Don't click on anything that's not required. So just be careful with everything that is happening and do not panic and let it just be.
Absolutely. I think both of you shared really important pieces of advice, which is imperative for people just wanting to get that exact proper piece of information as to what is going to happen and what not. So if you look at the larger landscape now, how do we see this merge impacting the larger Web3 ecosystem in the long term? And what is the pipeline after the merge? Abhinav?
So I think this is as I mentioned, it's a monumental change, right? So what you're going to see is not just instance. It's going to be a long play out of a roadmap that Vitalik described almost 6 to 8 months back. And even the other L1s are trying to achieve something similar in terms of what they can do. So based on the roadmap, I would say we are going to see a lot of modularity in the Ethereum blockchain. And then the whole roadmap, if you look at it, merge is just one step. You're going to see the verge, the purge, splurge, and I think I missed one, but yeah, nonetheless, the surge, yes. So I think it's all in all, we're trying to create a system that supports all the users across the world. And we're not only trying to do this for retail, we're trying to do it for institutional businesses, we're trying to do it for financial institutions, enterprises, supply chain management systems, etc. So once we have the merge live, we are going to see a rise of rollups, layer 2 solutions in terms of optimistic solutions, data availability layers, execution environments, etc. So tons of technical things lined up. But on a narrative side, I would say this is just the beginning of something really, really important in the crypto and Web3 space.
Absolutely wonderful. Neel, anything to add from your side?
I think one thing that I'd like to add is something that's going to change massively is the amount of ETH which is going to come out into the circulation. So currently, on a daily basis, almost 13,000 ETH is put out into the ecosystem because of mining rewards. That is going to be pushed down to almost 1,600 ETH post-merge. So that's like a 90% reduction in how much ETH is going to be coming out on a daily basis. As it's called the triple halving very popularly. It's equivalent to 3 Bitcoin halvings, which is like 12 years of inflation decrease in Bitcoin's terms, which in my opinion is going to be a great thing, great catalyst for even some sort of price appreciation, maybe for ETH, because there's not a lot of selling pressure by miners to basically fund their own hardware and electricity costs. So I think that's also going to be a major change in this case.
Absolutely.
And definitely sustainability. I think all of us touched it, but nobody mentioned it explicitly. So sustainability is going to be a big change. Almost 99.9% of the current energy consumption is going to go down. So you can basically fund a new country as big as Pakistan with the energy energy that is surplus at the moment.
Also, minting an NFT won't cost a rainforest anymore.
Definitely. Thanks for pointing those specific things out as well. Really important considerations. So just picking on the different aspects that we touched upon, right? Now, what are some of the important aspects that the audience should be on the lookout for in the next few days and weeks as the merge takes place? Be it maybe in terms of the expected volatility in the crypto market, the staked ETH unlocking, the dates of the merge, or anything important that you both want to highlight. Neel, go ahead.
I think Abhinav and I, we both missed a major misconception in the earlier question as well, with regards to, I think, the unlocking of ETH. So there's another widely held misconception that post-merge, all the liquid staking ETH that is in protocols like Rocket Pool, Lido is going to become unlocked, and that could lead to massive selling pressure on ETH. So that, again, is not true. There's potentially another ETH hard fork that happens maybe 12 months down the line that will allow some sort of unlocking of stake rewards for most of these validators. And even after that, there'll be a period of time for which not a lot of people can take out their entire stake. You can only harvest your rewards. Maybe a couple of months after that, we come up with another upgrade wherein validators can basically unstake their 32 ETH requirement. And there's, I think, a lot of discussion around that could be potentially concerning, but the Ethereum Foundation has addressed it in a very elegant way, wherein every epoch, which is, I think, 6.4 minutes, only 6 validators can exit the ecosystem. And currently, just as of now, there are more than, I think, 400,000 validators on Ethereum. So that does not mean that there'll be a massive dropout of unstaked ETH or validators dropping off from the chain. So I think that's another misconception that was predominant in a lot of folks around the merge.
Absolutely.
But I think yeah.
Wait, go ahead. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, and I think when it comes to the merge, I don't think people need to do a lot of things. Yeah, there's going to be volatility. Maybe it's a positive for all POS coins. Maybe if there's some technical difficulty in the merge, that's good. That may be a positive news for all POW coins. But as a general user, I don't think you need to worry a lot. Just sit back, see the merge happening. And this is a major feat of engineering that has taken 8 years. So maybe just enjoy it.
Definitely. Abhinav, what's your view? Any important aspects, considerations that should be kept in mind?
I think one of the things that I want to talk about is downtime and forks. So, like, even though the merge is happening quite seamlessly, we are not going to see downtime on the network, but we might see some downtime on associated software that is running. So, let's say if you're using an exchange, you might see some downtime during withdrawals and deposits, etc., for a bit till the time they are upgrading their own systems. So it's recommended that you keep a buffer of, let's say, an hour or so during the merge, just to make sure you're not doing something uh, which is related to your capital. So don't move it around. Let it just be where it is. The other part is folks. So we might see some of POW folks go over into like a new blockchain, and they might have some tokens which might see a lot of volatility, which might create confusion. So again, the advice there is only interact with something that you're comfortable with, especially when it comes to NFTs and tokens in general, because you would have a change in chain IDs, which can potentially lead to replay attacks. Again, it's a very technical topic, so I won't go into depths. But one thing is, don't interact with the POW chain or another ETH fork, which you are not very sure of. So keep your money safe, keep your funds safe.
Makes a lot of sense. Perfect. Thank you so much, both of you. So we now move to an interesting part of the discussion, which is more like a rapid fire round around the ETH merge. Just try to answer in black or white, one liner, one word, or as briefly as possible. But as we know, the world is not too rosy, and specifically not this market. So if your answer happens to be in a gray area, it will be great if you can just give a one-liner explanation of your thoughts. All right. We have about 6 questions. So let's get started. ETH merge will be a success, yes or no? Abhinav.
Yes.
Neel?
Yes.
All right. Second question. POW or POS, what is your take? Neel?
I think both have their own domains and use cases.
Abhinav?
Same answer. I'm a technical guy. I love both.
All right. Next question. Ethereum merge could lead to Ethereum becoming the largest blockchain network, surpassing Bitcoin. Yes or no? Abhinav?
I have a bet on this. I am definitely sure Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin.
Neel?
I don't think merge is going to be that catalyst, but definitely sometime in the future.
All right, great. What do you think, or rather, who do you think will benefit the most out of the ETH merge? Neel?
I think the world in general, right? Like the major reason that we touted is the environmental and sustainability factors. So, yeah.
Abhinav?
Web3 ecosystem. It's a win-win for everyone.
All right. Biggest challenge with the merge, Abhinav?
Centralization, I guess.
Neel, how about you?
As I think Abhinav earlier mentioned, lot of possible replay attacks and people trying to scam other users.
Okay. Last question. Your favorite layer one apart from Ethereum, Neel?
I don't think I have any other than Ethereum. Maybe an Ethereum layer 2 could be my favorite, such as Arbitrum.
Okay. Abhinav?
I'll go with Near and Elrond.
Okay. Perfect. Lovely. Wonderful. Thank you so much. On that note, a big thank you to both of you for this super interesting chat. I'm sure this simplifies a lot of untangled threads and unravels all important aspects around the ETH merge for us. This is definitely a monumental change in the digital assets ecosystem, and we're all waiting for a successful implementation of more robust infra and a stronger future for Web3. Thank you once again for being a part of Curated X and this insightful chat.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.